You're making a difference. Thank you. Whew. My check light just came on the fridge, so you know what that means. Make sure we have gas coming through. We do. So, yeah. Whenever I have one tank that goes empty, I always make sure that I just take the empty one off, so I remember to go ahead and get it filled. And I usually set it right next to my car, so I remember to take it to town next time I go. As you can see, the humidity has come down a fair amount these last couple of days, which is nice. I did get a tower fan. It's a fairly big one. I'm gonna say like, I don't know, 4 foot maybe? But it's definitely helping. It's in oscillation mode, just going back and forth. Got it plugged into the power station. I think it runs at 36 watts. Yeah, 36 watts. On a full charge, I think it lasts about 13 hours. Just running constantly, which is fine, because if the battery on the power station gets low, I just go ahead and turn on the generator, and as I'm running the dehumidifier just to bring the humidity down a little bit, I take that opportunity to also recharge the power station. And then so starts the cycle of just running the fan constantly. It's helping. The fan is helping. It's a little bit of a breeze coming at you every once in a while, you know? Definitely going to be a hot one today. I'm really hoping the humidity is just going to calm its nerves. And before it gets too hot, I know it's going to get too hot. What better time to get started on a DIY temporary outdoor shower than now? Last video, I had the leak under my tub. Still have the leak under my tub. Still haven't gotten to that yet. I will get there. Thank you, by the way, for all the comments and the suggestions, advice on the whole issue. I read most, if not all, of the comments, and I took a lot into consideration. Yeah. Let's have a quick chat about it. Okay. Today's plan, the reason why I'm doing a DIY temporary shower is because I still need to get clean. I need to shower. And because I haven't gotten started on that project yet, you know, I need a temporary solution for the meantime. I just have this feeling that something that I think is a small fix is going to turn into a much larger issue. And it's very, very possible. So I've been holding off on tackling that for now. I know a lot of you had mentioned the fact that my tub already has a crack in it, and it does, and there is some give to the tub, so I feel like removing that drain to replace the gasket, there's a possibility that the tub could crack or break or something. So yeah, there's a good chance that something big could happen to the tub while I'm trying to replace the drain. And knowing that, you know, if it comes to that, obviously I'd have to replace the tub. And the tub, there's a lip around the whole edge of the tub, which the surround sits over. So I'd also have to remove the whole surround, which seems like another fun job to get the tub out. Anyway, I think it's going to be a much bigger project than I had anticipated. And I actually do think that it's been leaking for a while. Not as bad as it had that day where I showed you the pee pads underneath were like 100% fully saturated. But I do think that it's been leaking for a while. A slow leak. So I'm also nervous about mold, I think, under there. And anyway, that's an issue for another day. We'll tackle that problem another time. So today, the goal is to set up a DIY temporary outdoor shower. Temporary, I hope. And yeah, if you're looking for an extravagant, fabulous outdoor shower build, this is not it. You won't find it here. This is definitely not Home and Garden Television. It's more like red-green. We're going simple and functional, not fabulous. Okay, let me show you my plans. I've already got a pallet here. This is what I'll be standing on just to get my feet up and off the ground, so I'm not going to have pine needles and rocks and things flying at my feet. Obviously, I'll be wearing sandals or something while I'm showering. Okay, so I'm choosing this spot for a couple of reasons. One, my water source is right here, so I'm hoping I can gear up a hose directly to this or throw one in over the top, suck the water from. Got a bit of an overhang, so I can hang my little temporary shower from up here. Another reason, I'll have a 12-volt pump. I've got spare batteries in here. The spare solar is right there, so I'll have a way to replenish the juice in my batteries from the pump. And yeah, even though you can't see it, we've got a bit of a hill here, so the water's just going to run down underneath and, yeah, disappear in that little gully, I guess. So what am I going to need for this outdoor shower project? Let me show you. First thing, a cheap $2 hula hoop. This is going to hang my shower curtain. Number two, obviously a shower curtain. Tried to go a little matchy-matchy with the side of the trailer. You probably can't see that at all. Is that better? Yeah, still didn't get there, but I tried. Obviously rings to hang the shower curtain. A hook to mount for hanging my towel. Drunk octopus likes to fight. Don't tell me you didn't see the meme. Rope for hanging my hula hoop, which I already had. Tankless water heater, which is currently still in my shower. Just a matter of removing it and hanging it somewhere else outside. Obviously a propane tank for the tankless water heater. This one's still hooked up from when it was in my shower. I'm just going to move it a little closer to where I'm going to be setting up. For the most part, the things that I did pick up have been pretty cheap. But I did pick up one purchase that was slightly larger, and I'll tell you why. A 12-volt water pump. Now I do have one, but mine runs constant. This one has an on-off switch, which I figured would be better for running a shower, because I could be wrong, but I think that when I stop my shower head, just obviously to conserve water, I'm pretty sure my other pump would continually run. I could be wrong, but I kept the receipt for this thing just in case. Yeah, and the last thing you need are hoses, obviously, to run from the pump to your tankless water heater and from the pump to your water source. Yeah, what do you think? This is where I'm going to be showering for maybe several weeks, maybe a couple months. It depends on how long it takes me to get my shit together. Not so bad here. I'm under the overhang right next to the water source. Next task, mounting the tankless water heater. Okay, tankless water heater is mounted. It's under the overhang, so it should help keep water from getting in here a little bit. Plus, this tank here is in the way as well. Hopefully that does something. Now we need a hose to go from the propane tank to right here. Propane hose that I have is going through the wall right here because it went into the bathroom. I'm not going to remove all that silicone and take the hose out. I have a different solution for that. My propane fire bowl has a hose. I'm going to steal it off of here and just use it for the outdoor shower. If I need to use this propane fire bowl again, I can just steal it back. Simple as that. Next order of business, shower head. Obviously that's going to go in your water output, which is right here. It's your middle one. Shower head is on. I could put a shower head mount here somewhere, but why bother? I'm just going to be grabbing it with my hand and using it as I need to. So I'll probably actually just stow it under here when I'm finished. It just seems like an extra step that's unnecessary. Or I can literally just hang it there when I'm done. You know, totally unnecessary to put a mount here right now because don't need it. Now let's get to the more complicated part, the pump. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this pump yet, but you know, we're going to be close enough anyway to reach the batteries in here, so that's good. What do we got? Out and in. So this side here, we're going to have hooked up to our water source, and this part here is going to be hooked up to the tankless water heater. And since the pump came with the short hose, hopefully this fitting is going to work for this. It looks like it is. Fingers crossed. See that? Yeah, that means it's not the right size. I knew this couldn't go perfectly. It works on the pump, obviously. It's just slightly too big for this fitting. Something just popped into my head. You know what I should have done before I started any of this? Make sure the pump works. Okay, I've got the in hose into the little bottle of water here. Not worried about this side as long as there's water gushing out. Obviously, we know it's going to work. But we do have to make sure it's going to work. Otherwise, this whole thing is pointless. So let's plug this in onto a battery. Oh yeah. Okay, yep. Yeah, it works. Did you see how fast that water came out? This was almost full. And just in that short little stint, well, we almost ran out. Pump works. Alright, this is what we have so far. I removed the green hose that was here for putting water into here. This had the same size end, so I just used this little hose for the inlet. So this is where the water, basically when I want to shower, I'm just going to open this up. And this is obviously going to be hooked up to the batteries. I can just flick the switch, and once I get a hose with a proper fit for here, then this is going to work. But yeah, other than that, we're pretty much all set up. It's actually easier than I thought, minus that, you know, that hose not fitting properly. Until I get that outlet hose figured out, let's start the next thing, the hula hoop shower curtain. Okay, my hula hoop is loosely hung. Don't judge. I'll clean that up later. And now I guess it's time to hang the shower curtain. Didn't really take the wind into consideration. Here we are. We're in the shower together. Bet you didn't think I'd ever say that on this channel. Neither did I. This could work. I actually thought that the shower curtain was going to be too long to completely go around the hula hoop, and it's not even long enough, but that's cool. I need this opening to get at this. And yeah, definitely didn't factor in the wind situation, but hopefully by the time I shower in the evenings, the wind will have died down. It's gonna work. Just might end up having a shower curtain stuck to my ass. I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I might actually need to get some clamps and clamp the shower curtain in places. We can't forget about Drunk Octopus towel hook, so there we go. Towel hook installed. Something else I want to do is swap out these batteries. It takes D-cell batteries. That's just simply to run the igniter. So once your propane's on and this little switch is on, it will ignite the flame right in here, and that is what the D-cell batteries are for. By the way, I can't rave enough about these portable water heaters. I will not go back to the onboard tanks like ever. So much more efficient with propane. It's just hot water on demand. This thing cost me less than $200, and I've had it for over 5 years now. Getting a little rusty under the paint here, but other than that, I mean, Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. It might die now on me, but there. All right, update, because I don't want to be showering in the dark. I'm going to try to get this done. This end is going to fit on the water pump. This end fits on the tankless water heater. The only problem I had is that for some reason I had this hose completely cut in half. So I had to get like a fitting to go in there and then hose clamps to just keep it tight together. But now it's back in one piece the way it should have been. I'm not sure why I had it cut in half. It must have been for another project, but let's go give it a try. All right, it's all hooked up. So now it's testing time. All right, we got our hose coming from our water source to the pump, from the pump to the unit. We got our propane hooked up to the propane. So now, let's see, turn on the propane. And what do we got? Is this on or off? On. What else do we have to do? Let me get this down just in case. So now I should be able to open up the water. Okay, that's going to make its way to the pump. And yeah, now I just have to turn the switch to the pump because the pump is attached to the battery. Let's hit the switch. No, I got a leak. Not gonna work. I think I know the problem. See this little rubber stopper in this hose? This is just water in the line. That's this right here. I need that for this one, so I don't have one. So now I gotta find one. Oh my gosh, you guys. I found a rubber, whatever, stopper to go in here. So now it no longer leaks out the sides, right? I fired it on to test it out. The water heater lit and the water was extremely hot. And then it just stopped on me. It just stopped. So I thought maybe I had it on a bad battery. Switched it to this battery. Now when I turn the pump on, the water goes in the unit and comes out of here. But there is no hot water. And this unit will not light. So I don't know. So now did my tankless water heater just die? Like really just now? Or what's happening? Because I don't know. Just watch. Just watch. It won't light. Turning on the pump. Water is obviously coming from here, going up into the unit, coming out here, but the unit will not light. It's not lighting. So now I have water, it's just not warm water. Yeah. I think my tankless water heater died or something, or maybe the igniter went. I don't know. What am I to think, honestly? What am I to think? Because these are brand new batteries. I just actually swapped them out. It did light when I tested it off camera. Did my igniter fail? I mean...
Why are you such a snatch right now? I just want a shower!
It's all set up. It's all set up. The water works, but the heat does not. Which, that's fine on days like this. I could totally go for a cold shower, but I'm not going to want to do that every day. I'm going to have to call it a night on this one and, I don't know, look back into it tomorrow. Good morning. How did you sleep? Me? I had a few things on my mind. I started thinking a lot about my water heater last night and this morning, and I started thinking that I was the reason that it wasn't working, that I burnt it out, and I'll tell you why. As you can see, the water heater is not here. I took it down. But I started thinking that when I first tested it out here, I didn't have the camera rolling, but it did light, it ignited, and the water got like really, really hot, and then everything just kind of stopped, and then it wouldn't light again. So yeah, I thought that it just, at first I thought that it just died. It was just its time, right? But then I remembered that when I had fired everything on, I had the water heater turned on, and I started to think about the fact that there probably wasn't enough water in the unit itself, you know, when that coil and everything inside started heating up. And I thought that maybe I burnt it out. That's what I thought, which would make sense, right? There wasn't enough water in there. Everything was heating up. I thought I burnt it out because it wasn't working. I also thought it had something to do with the water pressure, like it wasn't getting enough pressure, because I hooked the hose up to this doohickey, and first of all, there's not a lot of water in here, as you can see. When I use this valve and I put a hose into here to fill my fresh tank, there's not a lot of pressure behind it, especially when the water is this low. So then I was kind of thinking, because I had the hose attachment here, I just wasn't getting enough pressure going through. So this morning I took this hose here and I put it up in the top of the tank directly into the water source here. And the pressure was better, but the water heater still didn't fire on. So I thought, okay, well, it's definitely dead. So I took the water heater off of here, off this post, because I wanted to just triple check, I mean, it doesn't hurt to, and make absolute certain that it was gone before I go ahead and order another one. I took the water heater and I set it back up in my shower, mounted it back up in the shower, and put all of the hoses and attachments and everything back the way it was. And I thought I'd just give it a try again this morning in my shower. Let me go show you something. Water heater's back all set up. I'm just gonna put this in the sink because the less water going down the other drain that leaks, the better. So, whoop, let's do this. Water heater is on. You see that? Do you see that? It lit, it still works. And if I give it 2 seconds, yeah, the water's hot. It's alive! It still works! Needless to say, I was pretty pumped to discover that this morning, because now I don't have to buy a new water heater. At this point, I think I'm just going to go get one of those like battery operated pumps that you drop into a bucket with the handheld shower head. Because it's still a mystery to me as to why my water heater doesn't work with this setup. I don't know if there is just not enough PSI on the water pump. I don't know if my hose is too long. That sounded weird, I'm sorry. Yeah, something's just not working right with this setup for the water heater. I have to go to town today and run some errands, so I'm gonna look for one of those battery operated pump shower head in a bucket things. Doubt I'll find one, probably have to order one on Amazon, and it might be here by winter. All in all, the temporary outdoor shower was a fail with my setup. So I guess sometimes it pays to go simple, you know? But I scored a new water pump in case my other one breaks. And I didn't have to buy a new tankless water heater, which, so glad. Anyway, I've got to get to town and run my errands, so I'm going to sign off here. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you enjoyed this video, even though it was a complete fail. And hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, I'm back from town and I had an epiphany. I was running around, well, not really running around, but at the stores I had to go to, I was looking for a pump that I could drop into a bucket with a handheld shower head, and then it hit me. I was like, I have a pump. I have a freaking pump. What am I even doing? Anyway, I think I have a temporary solution. God, the mosquitoes are bad. This could be fun trying to shower out here with these mosquitoes. Oh my god. Anyway, here's the plan. Got my bucket. Obviously I'm going to be getting my water from the tank with the hose here, the little lever there, and I am going to be heating up a pot of water and just dumping it in and filling it up, making sure the water is at least warm for this shower. One end of the hose in here in the bucket, other end of the hose right here. Anyway, I took this hose apart. It did have an end on it, but the end didn't fit my shower head, so I thought, oh well, I don't need a shower head, I'll just use this hose, I guess. So once I'm all hooked up to the battery, I just flick this switch and water should come out of here. Hopefully water's going to be warm. And yeah, I'm just going to shower with this hose, I guess. Not really sure if when the bucket is full of water, if that's going to be enough for my shower. Again, I'm not a diva, but I brought a second bucket just in case, because you never know. It might not be enough. It might not be enough. Okay, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to flick the switch. We're all hooked up to the battery in there. I'm just going to have the water cycle back into the bucket, so that way I don't waste it. This is just to show you how this is going to work. Remember, I'm going to have hot water in here because I'm going to boil some. But anyway, flick the switch. And there we go. That's pretty high pressure. Wow. Kind of why I was hoping to hook up my shower head, but I just didn't have the right fitting. Might end up with some welts from that one. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you guys know how that goes later on when I try it out. Could be bucket showers for the rest of the summer, so wish me luck.